What's going on, folks? Renegade here. I know, it's been a while since I've done a car video. A lot of drama and BS and whatever. Not getting into it. Let's jump right into the video. So, one of the things I've wanted to do now for quite a while with my Volvo 240 is to do a short throw shifter. The shift on my car is about 6 inches or so, from first gear to second gear, third gear, fourth gear. It's a long way. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're shifting, like it almost feels like you're shifting a big truck. You know, it's too much. So I want to make it a shorter throw. I want to and need to replace the bushings because the bushings are gone. But I don't want to lose that great classic Volvo look by putting in an aftermarket shifter. So I'm going to modify the one I have. So to do this, I had to do a bunch of math, which I just got done doing. I hate math. I really do. Basically, if you're interested in modifying your own shifter so that you can keep the shifter you have, but make it look differently, you have to extend the section shaft under the fulcrum or the pivot ball that sits basically in the cup. Especially with the Volvo 240, because that's the one I've been dealing with. You've got the shifter rod or shifter shaft, gear selector, whatever you want to call it. It goes down into your floor. There's a ball on the shifter, then more shaft. That's where you connect the linkage to. It's all about angles and travel. So I did all this wonderful math. Hopefully you'll see it. All to determine how much extra metal I need under the pivot ball so I can move the top a shorter travel and have the bottom stay the same travel. You have to figure out the angle of the stock setup, top travel, and the bottom travel. Then figure out how far you want it to travel up top, how long you want your throw, figure out that angle. So then you can figure out what the angle would be at the bottom. Then figure out how much more material, how much more length you need to make the bottom travel stay the same. Have it be the same angle. Sounds like a pain. It was. If you've got a kit to do it with, just go that way. But I wanted to keep the stock look. So now I got all this, I'm going to go outside tomorrow morning. I'm going to start in on this. I got the shifter bushings coming. They'll be here soon. Yeah, let's get to it. Alright, it's a little cold out here. Haven't seen my breath. Unfortunately, poor motorcycles just sitting here waiting for nice weather. Alright, so took the shifter knob off. I want to break it any more than it is, and let's face it, that one was going anyways. Got my own shifter knob to go on here. And now, cut this sucker. And our length of steel rod. Now I'm using all thread just because it was cheap and because it was the right diameter. So I got this guy cut off. I got a section. So it's going to be now, I'll arrange these a little better. And no, I haven't taken the bushings off yet. I'm going to take care of this tomorrow morning. Gonna weld this here, get a nice weld going, and it'll be that much longer than stock. Should work out quite well. First I'm going to bevel these edges so I can get a good weld going. Pro tip for you. When you are grinding little things, little pieces of metal. Vice grips come in handy because I can hold the piece of metal that I'm grinding with the vice grips, hold the vice grips. I don't worry about accidentally grinding off a section of my finger. Because, well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little attached to mine. So, next thing to do is to actually weld this together. That'll be fun. Because I'm not sure how well the camera will fare with the welding, you know, bright UV, and I don't have a lens for that. I'm just gonna tack weld this and then I'll stop. I'll show you guys what's going on, alright? There we go. Tack welded together. It's a little crooked. I'll fix that. I'm sure my hair is a mess. Oh well. So, tack welded together. Obviously I gotta straighten it just a smidgen. That's no big deal. And I'll finish welding this together. Of course, again, the vice grips came in handy because I wasn't going to hold this and burn my fingers off. That sucks. There we go. It's not perfect, of course, but I did just kind of hit it with the grinder a little bit to make sure that I didn't have any weak spots in my welds. But that'll certainly do. And now, tomorrow, I'll be able to install it once I get the bushings in. Obviously, for those of you watching, yes, this would be far easier if I had a vise and if I had space, but I don't, and I don't. Yeah, I gotta get on that vise thing. So hey, if you want to donate, help Renegade get a vise, you know, a nice good shop vise or bench vise, whatever you want to call it. There's a link down below if you want to buy me a coffee. A couple bucks helps me out dramatically. Any donation they get through coffee.com goes straight to working on stuff like this. So, this part's done. I said, bushings will be here tomorrow, or bushings will be here today, and tomorrow, weather permitting, because of course it's nasty, we'll get them installed and get this installed in the car. So, until then, hang on. Alright folks, day 2 of this shifter project. Of course, it's raining again, means I'm gonna get wet. C'est la vie. Of course, I forgot to film this, but I pulled the shift boot off. There are 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. They go right through the shifter boot here, and that's what covers everything. Get it loose, and this is what you got. Now, I'll give you the whole idea here. When I say it's a long throw, I mean first, second, third, fourth. That's pretty long. And that's why I want to shorten it. I want to make it a little easier. So that's what we're going to do. So, once you get the shift boot off, the next step is to go under the car and disconnect the clevis pin. And look at how floppy that is. That's no bueno. Let's get there. Safety first. So you look up there, you'll see a hex key bolt. It's a set screw. I gotta remove that, and then I can take the shifter out and do that real fast. So, just as every mechanic knows, you can't climb under your car and not expect to find something else wrong that you have to take care of. I got underneath here and I noticed that 2 of my drive shaft bolts were pretty much gone. So I had to replace those. So it took a little longer. Oh well, they're good now. So, up there, hopefully you can see, I took the set screw out, and now I gotta pull the pin out, which is difficult because I got a drive shaft in the way. I hope you all can see this, but there we go. There's the pin. Put that off to the side. Try not to lose it. Now my shifter is completely disconnected. Now I can take these little bushings
on out of here. And because I'm not saving them, I'm not too worried if they fall. If I lose them. One bushing. Two bushing. There we go. And we go up to the top. Now with this all loose on the bottom, there's a circlip, which I already removed. But now I should just be able to lift everything right on out. Oh yeah, that's good. That is part of that, which should be all one piece. Lovely. Make sure I get the bottom pieces too. Ta-da! Now let's get the new one. Alright, so full disclosure. When I took this apart, I broke the reverse lockout. Reverse lockout is a really thin rod. Really, really fine thread. I don't even know if you guys can see that. Yeah, it's very easy to break. So, I don't have a reverse lockout. It would sit in here somehow and sit on the shaft like I showed you. Oh well. I haven't had a reverse lockout since I put this transmission in the car, so I'm not overly concerned about it. Oh well. It also means that because I don't have all the extra stuff on here, it's going to be really easy for me to get the bushings down. If you still have your reverse lockout and you're doing this on a Volvo 240, you're going to have to take it apart. Be very, 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 very careful. Alright, so installation is just the opposite of the installation. Made sure bottom's a little cleaned up. Where does it go? Cool. Remember that there is a beveled edge and a flat edge. Beveled edge accepts the bushing. Ta-da! Rubber bushing first, or nylon bushing, then the brass bushing. Drop that in. You got the new bushings in there. You got to make sure you push everything down so it seats well. So you can get the other clip in. Alright, so I just wrestled the circlip in, which is something I always have a difficult time with. That's in. Now the shifter's in. And now we go down to the bottom and make sure we get that side connected. Now of course here comes the tricky part again. I'm trying to film and do everything and be able to see and be able to have you guys see. Yeah. So these bushings go on the inside of this linkage, which I really hope you all can see. If you can't, I do apologize. Okay, to get them in there, it's very difficult to show from down here. There's not a whole lot of room. But, get the bushings in. And you gotta get the shifter in, which itself is an interesting task. This pin goes in to complete the difficulty task. It's never late. It involves some wiggling and some persuasion. Alright, once you've now fought with all that, and you got everything on, and you got the set screw in, you can now wiggle your way out of this teensy tiny little area, and get back up top, where it's not so dirty and grimy. Oh yeah. That's lovely. This is what happens when you're on the underside of a car, and it's greasy, grimy, and road grimy. Yeah, a mess. It's all good. So, shifter's in. Oh, that feels so nice already. Ooh, clicky. Sweet. So now, just gotta finish putting everything together. Before I put my shifter back on, I'll let y'all in on a little secret. Alright, when I first got this car, or when I first got the transmission, I should say, I had a problem with the shift knob coming off in my hand, particularly between quick shifts, 3 and 4. That was the bad one, because it was always real fast. I was trying to shift it, and the knob kept coming off in my hand. Wonderful website, DaveBarton.com. I'll put a link in the description. Gave a little tip. He's got a bunch of them, but this particular trick is to drill a small hole in the shifter and a small one in the rod or in the shaft, and you get a screw that fits. And you put the shifter on, put the screw through, then your shifter won't come off anymore. All right, looks normal, huh? Ooh, that feels nice and stiff. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. So I only shortened it by about 1 inch in each direction. I wanted it to be shorter, but not super short. And it certainly feels like it's gonna be nice. But with everything back together, you know there's one thing left to do. Test drive. So give me a moment to get cleaned up and go for a tap. Alright, it's gotten very dark all of a sudden. So here's hoping you guys all can see me. Wow, that is so short. Oh yeah! I know some of you guys out there are sick and twisted people, and you just heard that. Ah, 1 inch. Anywho. See if I can get a good place to make sure you guys can see this. Damn, that is so short. That is awesome. Make sure you guys can see this, alright? Ready? So that's neutral. First. Until then, guys, y'all keep rocking and rolling. I'm going to keep taking care of business. Trying to crash and trying to talk to you and drive. See you in the next one.